you haven't had the chance to and have another hour or so, tune into that one at around an hour from now, and you'll see it. So all about tolerance and that justice aspect.
Great. I mean, we're having some fantastic comments here. Does anyone want to unmute and share their thoughts?
Yeah, just maybe a few words. And yesterday, you know, I was in a session with a people delegation from Gambia, from Haiti, from Banjul in Cameroon, and with two channels for translation. With we had to do interactive maps, so with lots of techniques. And in the end, it worked, and I was quite amazed and by the fact that we were all like. All in all those places and being able to connect. So it was, yeah, I mean, having followed the organization from you know, a bit from behind, I was really impressed by it. And so again, congrats.
I have a question for you. Well, first off, I'd like to see, as I was scrolling through the faces, I'd like to just say that Olivia Jensen is here from the National University of Singapore, IPER, so our co-organizer. So thank you, Olivia, for joining and for all of your hard work. I'm curious what you guys thought of the virtual format. Did you like it? Do you miss it? Do you want to be in person? Do you want to do this again? I mean, we're sort of trying to figure it out. We're going to send out a survey, but if anybody wants to just give me some qualitative data right now, appreciate it.
I thought this was wonderful. I was supposed to run a session in Istanbul and it got lost on the transfer to Venice. My background is industrial accident risk, which I would love to contribute more to because I think this is a missing aspect. You do a lot about floods, volcanoes, and earthquakes, and Sendai has gained something called industrial and technological risk, but and this I can add to. So I think it'd be nice if you do Singapore have a virtual aspect of it, because I do this bit voluntarily with UR. I've had to run this parallel to doing work. I won't be able to travel on my own cost to Singapore, but I would love to perhaps contribute a virtual session because I think there are lots of things to talk about. And we talk about improving economies in developing countries, but which means we're going to provide them with industrial risk. We need to get this managed from the start.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. I think that's a really excellent point of that inclusivity, and that's our hope that we can sort of do this hybrid type approach. Did I see somebody else sort of waving there? Yeah, Nilsa.
Yeah, hi Simon, and I really wanted to congratulate all the team that made this platform possible, because I've been in like several online meetings, online forums, and this was really easy to follow and to get in the sessions and like the guides and all the instructions that were done during the videos. Like you just like this one, like when you finish this, you go to the agenda and you click here and everything appeared, and it was like I think even the colors were like very nice. So I know I was like feeling so stressed in any of like other meetings and other workshops, but really this one was like very, very nice. I really liked it. And I was also showing to some people in my office, and I was like, no, really, look how easy this is, like, because we had some problems also organizing ours. And yeah, I mean, of course I miss the in-person networking and everything, but really I like this, like the meditation part and the music. And I think that's what I really love of this understanding is that it's really like, it's something I wrote in the comments, that it's out of the box. Like you have so many stuff that I don't know, it's very appreciated and sometimes other people don't think about, but it's all related to risk and to also like personal comfort. And I really like it, and really congratulations to the whole team.
Yes, another thing that's been really great is how short the sessions are. It really amazes me that you can present something so deeply technical in 10 minutes or 5 minutes. It can be done, it was done, and I think there's a lot more interest in what's happening in Earth observations, for example. So really congratulations to everybody. The other point is, I think that in the sessions, it was a way to get more personal, even though we're not there in person. It felt like we were there in person because there were small panels and people could talk to each other easily. So very good work.
Thanks, Tiosa. Thanks, Janet. Really appreciate the feedback. I mean, it was sort of a shot in the dark, and we thought, and I was actually in some of the sessions too, thinking, I want more of this. But right, that's like a nice time, like leave you wanting more, so then we can expand on it later. Anyone else? Yeah, Medina.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So, like, I didn't get to attend the UR Central Asia that we were preparing for so long. So the COVID got in the way. But anyways, I got to attend this virtual UR, which is first experience for me. But it's been great because it was very interactive. Like, I did not know how, like, in virtual world you can pull off meetings and to be like so interesting and so interactive. Like, it was never boring. So congratulations to the team. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We hope that Central Asia will be able to have a UR sometime soon, and we can do it online as well. But again, like we only provide sort of the outlines. You guys all, whoever is the content contributors, you're the ones who are really making it interactive. So it's not just us. I mean, you have the entire community to thank for that. So really, really well done. Emma, do you call on someone, or if somebody wants to say something? We're all shy now. Yeah.
Perhaps a question. How do we get involved in the next one? So if we said we'd like to do something, or we're prepared to be involved and help develop content.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you all sign up to the UR newsletter, which is on the understandrisk.org website, we send out newsletters. We try to do it every month, and in there will be announcements about future events that are happening, sort of the smaller spin-off events like Central Asia or Central America. And then there usually is a call for proposals, for session proposals and topic proposals as well. And so then we have a committee who sort of reviews it and decides what to be put on. And we do weigh it against both the topic, but also sort of that interactivity, right? And we want session leads who are not just going to have those presentations that make it not so enjoyable, because we recognize that each and every one of the people in the audience is an expert in their own right? It's not just about who's up on stage. And so having that in mind when we develop it. So yeah, absolutely. So sign up to the UR newsletter, and that's where you can get all of the information, and also the UR LinkedIn and Twitter as well that you might have been following. Santiago's amazing Twitter posts. Nick, yes.
Hi, Simone. Hi, Emma. And hi, everyone. Well, first of all, just congratulations on an outstanding event. Well done. I mean, what a challenge that you pulled it off. And I'd like to congratulate everybody also on just the richness of content. I mean, you just look at that agenda over the 3 days and it's awesome. I just wish, there were enough time in all of our lives to be able to attend every event. I think you just get such insight across the whole spectrum. Brilliant from that point of view. I know, listening to the comments, there's a huge desire, I think, among many people to get back together in person, and those events, of course, have their own great richness, and Venice was a wonderful example of that. But I'm wondering, I was just reflecting, I don't know how many people on the screen right now are sports fans, but I'm just mindful of the question of people who can't travel in person to events and would appreciate looking online. If you look on television at sports events, and I'm not a great sports fan, but it's nice to watch the occasional football match. The difference between a football match with the audience and without the audience is quite marked, with the fans and without the fans. And what occurred to me was that if you are able to get back to in-person events, but you're streaming them online, if there's also some way of just getting that kind of audience participation that's there, physically present, communicated around in the broadcast transmissions. It's just an open question. I don't know how you would do that technically, but there's something there about just being able to communicate the life and the liveliness of those in-person events in online, just getting that energy across. Over.
Yeah, that's great, Nick. Thanks for that idea. And it just seems like the future is definitely these hybrid events, right? Where you have the in-person and then you have something that for those who can't travel. So we're definitely going to try to do that. I just wanted to point out a comment from Nurun Nahar to everyone, saying that she missed the coffee breaks. Couldn't agree with you more. I think that is, I mean, that is just the thing that I love about UR is those moments between the sessions where you run into someone and you say hello and you have your coffee and you catch up, and we don't have those serendipitous moments, but here at least we have this community moment now. So
yeah. Can I jump in with a reflection that I think this virtual format, where I think many of the session organizers were quite ambitious technically, and that was mentioned in terms of what they were trying to present or achieve. I think there may be another spin-off of this, which it's kind of encouraged us to go down this path of virtual delivery of some of our services and offerings. So, I think our feeling was we can't revert after COVID to kind of pure play, traveling to every country and delivering every workshop in person. We have to find a model where we can deliver some of this remotely and some of our partners can join remotely. And I think this has very helpfully forced our hand a little bit down that pathway to test kind of ways of capacity building, sharing and learning remotely as well as in person. So I think this hybrid model for UR will, I think, also have some side benefits for the way in which all the partners offer their services and their learnings. But congratulations again.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. I think it is, 2020, if anything, has taught us resilience and to be flexible, right? And so it's, it'll be really interesting to see, how we sort of integrate it. When we had first started thinking in July, we thought, well, let's do a hybrid, right? We'll have one in Singapore and we'll do something virtual. And then as sort of COVID in 2020 progressed, it was clear that that wasn't possible. But now that we've done the virtual and sort of know kind of the unknown knowns now and the known knowns, we know the traps to fall into as well as what we would do differently, right? And that's will be very helpful for hybrid events in the future. I think that this has strengthened my resolve anyhow to figure out how to make UR as inclusive as possible, because it can get people who never would have been able to travel otherwise, either for budgetary reasons or for time reasons or for carbon sort of ethical reasons. So I think that that's a really great opportunity for that. Yeah, I miss being in the touristy place too, right? And we can just all go out and say, wow, wasn't that fun? And it's, for any of you who are interested in doing virtual events, one of the reflections we had is typically in physical events, right, you're competing with the city outside. So you're competing with all of the amazing palacios in Mexico or the canals in Venice or in Istanbul, the Sophia, Hagia Sophia. But here we're competing with all of sort of the day-to-day life, and it's definitely more difficult to balance out, but it's been an enjoyable challenge. Anyone else? Any thoughts?
We missed you too. We spent so much time working out all the fun things we were going to do and coming up, finding nice venues and thinking about cool ideas for the last party and the opening ceremony. So basically those ideas are still there. And, if we can possibly do it, we'll do it, next year. Maybe we'll try and have a regional event and, absorbing all those comments about how to make it hybrid. And so some people could attend virtually and others could really be there, but it would have been so much fun to have had you all in Singapore, and we really wanted to take you out tonight.
You want to be taken out too? Yeah, well, wonderful. Any other thoughts that people want to contribute? Jimmy's wondering where my cats are. Yes, my cat is right here if you want to see him. He's been a great part of this UR organizing team.
Other distractions, yeah.
Yeah. I hope that you all know, right? You can watch most of the content afterwards. A lot of the content, the sessions were incumbent upon the session leads to record. Sort of, we try to put a lot of the responsibility in the hands of the session leads, like we do in the in-person events, simply because of the small team that we have. So we hope that pretty much everything will be available. But I do want to encourage you to just make a plug for, if you want interactivity and you want to figure out how you can make it the most interactive virtual event ever, go to the plenary in 10 minutes if you missed it this morning, because it is the height of interaction in terms of virtual and what it could be. It's been really impressive, and I've been surprised even at how interactive it can be.
What was really interesting was the fact you rolled it round the globe, that you had a global event that ran in 3 different sort of segments around the globe, which I've not seen before, but I think is an attractive, and also respects the fact that the globe is a round thing. It's not flat and sat where the event takes place. It's everyone. And I thought that was really, really good, really smart, and something that perhaps needs thinking about. And the really chic one would be to have a UR global, where it starts off in Seoul or somewhere like that and moves, and you can actually run it non-stop UR, and you pass the baton on to the next zone, and you could run it round that way. And that would be an interesting one, perhaps in 25 years when we've got the technology that works. Or 20 years perhaps.
Hi. Maybe I wanted to say that the virtual meeting is good for people that don't have the money to afford to come to these places, and they can meet better online. So this is the good thing about the virtual panels. Yes.
I think when we started to develop actually that was one of the biggest drivers, I would say, right, is sort of that word inclusivity. And I mean, it can be used in many different ways, but going to Mark's point as well, that was kind of, if I had up on my wall what I wanted UR to be, it was inspiring and inclusive this time around. And we try to make it that way every time, but this we really had an opportunity to do. And so to make sure that every single time zone was accessible in business hours or relatively close, or it wasn't 2 a.m. if you wanted to catch activities, was sort of really important to us. And I'm glad that people were able to be included when they might not have been otherwise, right? Up to Alex's point, if you can't travel. So that is a hope. Yeah, Nuran, forgive me. It's been a long week. So, but Nuran, yes, we would love to figure out how we can keep everybody connected throughout these events. I mean, it's been a big question mark for us over the many years in terms of if we try to force like an online community presence as well, or if we just sort of say there are these activities and events every few months or every year or 2 years where we just have people join. But a UR app is quite an idea. We've explored other options like that. So thanks for the plug. All right.
Thank you.
Is Andrew Eddy, who I think has also been around for 10 years of UR. What was the difference for you in the virtual event versus in person, Andrew?
I think, as I said in the chat, a lot of these events are about networking as well. And it's great online to meet up with the people that you already know, but how do you replace that spontaneous networking of making the new contacts? Maybe there's some way. People talked about the coffee break. Emma said, how come we didn't have the coffee break? Maybe there's some way to do random groups of small people, even in a virtual event, where you can have a coffee room with 10 people. And for a few minutes, it's like speed dating. You know, you just say, hi, who are you? I miss that aspect of not being there in real life. And of course, dancing, but yeah. Otherwise, it was great. Really, I can't believe you guys pulled it off the way you did. It's a real accomplishment to have done such a stellar virtual event.
Well, thank you. We missed the dancing too. Well, I guess if that's sort of it, I know that we're sort of losing people now as we get to the top of the hour and everyone has to get back to their lives. So we just want to thank you all for joining and sort of making this for us, right? As people were saying, we were missing the coffee breaks. What I miss the most is seeing all the faces who are like smiling and excited to the content. And to see all of you here has sort of made this whole journey worth it, right? Otherwise, it's just a little screen, a black screen on the webinar or on a meeting that you don't really know who's behind it and who's learning and absorbing and being inspired. So I really thank you guys for showing up here and sort of giving us your feedback, both positive, and please give us also the negative constructive feedback. We've already identified ways that we can improve it and we want to keep improving it more. So please do that in the survey that's to come. And usually, and Alan would be very upset if I did not say this, usually, you know, with the big dance party, we've sort of had a little bit of one, but we've curated, thanks to DJ Allen, a YouTube list of places to go to that have music. So it's this group called Circle, which is world-renowned DJs are playing in cultural heritage sites in also social distancing in 2020 and also previously. So there's one in Cappadocia where a DJ is in a hot air balloon over Cappadocia in Turkey. One I think in Bolivia. So I'm going to just drop it into the chat and you can kind of run with it. That I hope that this works. So there's a whole bunch of places that you can go to, travel to, see, and just zone out like you would in UR, where you're just chilling and off on the Friday evening to do whatever. So we hope that this brings a little UR.
Thank you all. We hope we'll be able to see you in person in 2022. And so until then, please stay safe and take care. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful. I will bid you adieu to go enjoy the plenary. But I hope you guys have as Emma said, stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you in 2022, if not earlier. It's been enough. Take care.